Nuanced nostalgia, it's a 90s vibe. Come and tap in, we keeping it live. Nuanced nostalgia, it's the 90s vibe. Come and tap in, we keeping it live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Nuanced Nostalgia. I'm Nick Norris, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Caitlin Mary Jane Watson Shortall.
Finally, I got that middle name.
After 3 movies, you have earned it. You have suffered through this, just like Kirsten Dunst herself, the real MJ did, and she hated this movie, as did you.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And by this movie, we mean Spider-Man 3. If you couldn't tell from the title you clicked on, 2007. Sam Raimi back to direct. Tobey Maguire back again in the saddle, better than ever. His best performance yet.
Who said that? That's interesting that you would say that.
Yeah. Look, it's not great, is it?
Opinion.
It's not great, is it? It's the weakest of the trilogy. And you don't love the trilogy in general.
I know that people, I don't know. I guess it's because, I mean, like, this has proven, nostalgia, it definitely makes movies, you think about movies back then in a better way than they actually are. I don't know why anyone liked these. And you know what? Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. I'm sorry if that's an unpopular opinion.
No,
the dialogue was bad.
Yes.
Like, there was just so much. And then everyone just kept making me mad. And, like, I don't know. There was just so much.
I would say even people who love these movies, like I do, I really like these movies.
Well,
but even people like me would recognize that the dialogue in this is pretty bad at times.
Yeah. And then just to, like, comment before everything, I was wondering.
Our screen's frozen. You keep going. I'm going to fix it really quick. This happens once every 5 episodes or so.
I have to think about my, or I have to just get out my immediate thoughts. Just think about this movie before anything else. What's that dude from that 70s show that played that? That's not going to help anything at all. What is his name? The one that came from that 70s show. What is it? Topher Grace. Okay, Topher Grace.
Topher Grace from that 70s show. He plays Eric.
He got that ass haircut, and it's like orange. I don't know what they tried to do with his hair. It's not dyed very well.
So, Topher Grace, he plays Eddie Brock.
And he's so insufferable and annoying. And
Venom.
And I guess that was their intention.
Yeah.
But now it makes me think that that's him as a person, so now I don't like him.
Actually, out of all the... Oh man, the screen's worse. I'll fix it in a second. Out of all the monsters that was in that 70s show, he seems to be the most well-rounded and best of them all.
That's a good point in terms of the actors that came from it.
Danny Masterson, convicted sex offender.
That's true.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher both defended him.
Yeah.
Apparently, Topher Grace was not liked by the rest of the cast, and he always stood his ground. And yeah, so it looked like it worked out for him in the long run.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Tell us more about Topher Grace while I fix the screen here. Sorry about this guy.
He's so absolutely insufferable. I did not, and like I said, I guess that was definitely their intention, but yeah, absolutely annoying. And then gets even more annoying when he, because this movie's about how the alien symbiote like affects Spider-Man or whatever, Venom, I guess. Which the one with Tom Hardy is so much better. And like Tom Hardy compared to this dude, Topher Grace, there's no competition. Tom Hardy's just so much better. Anyway. Tobey Maguire, insufferable, annoying. I hate his guts. You're ugly. You're disgusting. Give me $200.
Wow. I'm just gonna have 2 computers so I can fix this as we're talking here.
That's a Dr. Phil quote. I don't even think I quoted it right because
I didn't know what that was from. I thought you were just saying your feelings.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. Give me $200. Kill yourself. Yeah,
wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But,
look,
I hate.
He's written this way, though. You have to acknowledge that they said this is what we want, and that's what he did.
Here's my thing, though. Knowing that he was insufferable to work with, and then this was his character, was he playing himself? Maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's
maybe he tapped a little bit into himself and he was like, yeah, this is him. This is who he is in this movie.
Well, it's funny you say that. There is a movie. Let me look up the name of it while this is actually working.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. the character. Okay, and then like to even like while I'm just getting all my thoughts out because I have to do it immediately when we first start talking about it. There is no way that two separate women are this interested in Tobey Maguire or slash Spider-Man.
We're getting way ahead of ourselves. We'll get back there really quickly though to talk about what you were saying, or what I was saying. Michael Cera confirms that Player X in Molly's game was inspired by Tobey Maguire. If you've ever seen that character is a jerk.
Player X?
Yeah, it's the name of the character.
In what movie?
In Molly's game.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's about a professional skier in a poker game. Anyway, the character's a real jerk based on Tobey Maguire in these movies. How he acted behind the scenes.
Purpose. Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm getting ahead, but I just have to comment because I'm still talking about Tobey Maguire slash Peter Parker in this movie.
Peter Parker. Yeah, Peter Parker is at his worst. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. This one was definitely the worst one, and I totally agree. But I would argue that I didn't really have an enjoyable experience with any of them.
Well, let's get back on track. Have you watched this one before?
No, but I do remember a little bit of the Spider-Man 3 video game on PlayStation 3.
Okay, sure.
I didn't play it, as
you
know.
Great. Yeah,
it's not my game.
It's not great. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the third in the trilogy here, 2 hours, 19 minutes, the longest of all these Spider-Man trilogy.
Felt every single minute. Yeah.
Yeah. On a budget. Go ahead.
No, because I'll get ahead of myself again. So you go.
We'll get to the plot. I promise. We'll talk all about it. On a budget of $250 million, it made $895 million, so very profitable.
I don't know why. I don't know what year did this come out?
Well, it came off of the best one too, which was great.
Yeah.
And so people were excited for this. You get Venom, you get the black suit. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to be great."
Yeah.
And ended up getting mixed reviews, and now people are mostly down on it.
I would agree with them. But when did it come out?
2007.
That checks out.
It's not the worst Spider-Man movie. The Andrew Garfield ones are worse, in my opinion.
I think that's probably why I like them better, is because I view those like very fondly. Okay. Yeah. But additionally, I also really like Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
and
great.
They're the two in those movies.
And they have good chemistry in those movies for the most part.
So I think that's why I like them better.
Yeah.
Or those movies better.
We will get to those eventually. We'll watch those eventually on the show. I think.
At some point.
Yeah. And then maybe we'll do the Tom Holland ones. Then we'll do when they all three come together. You know, that could be fun. Eventually. We're going to take a break from Spider-Man after this week.
Now, that wouldn't be, I guess, like for me, it wouldn't technically be nostalgic, but I mean.
Yeah, but we make the rules, you know. What does it matter?
It has to be like this. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
whatever.
You got the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, fair. We talked about Barbie when it came out.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's precedent. There's precedent. This movie, as you can probably tell, is a result of studio interference. There's a lot of wonkiness to this movie. It's because the studio kept getting involved. So Sam Raimi, the director, he didn't want Venom in this movie. He felt it wasn't a character that he understood or liked or related to. He did not want Venom in the movie. But in the 90s, Venom was huge. The 2000s, still really big. And the studio said, the people want Venom. You're putting Venom in the movie.
How did he know that people wanted Venom?
Because Venom sold a bunch of comics all the time and merch and stuff.
In the 90s?
Yeah, he was huge in the 90s. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So everybody wanted Venom. And they said, you're putting him in the movie. He said, okay. He was originally going to have the Vulture and the Lizard in this movie, which is more in line with kind of the other ones because we already had Dr. Connors, the professor. He becomes the Lizard. He would have been in this. We also would have had, we'll talk about what could have been later. But so they forced him to put him in, and then he had to put him in, New Goblin, and he put Sandman in. So this got really bloated.
I understand the New Goblin. That made sense. And the Sandman also made sense.
The Sandman's the best part of this movie.
And they just threw in Venom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
New Goblin sucks because it's a stupid character.
I mean,
not Harry Osborn, but New Goblin is not a character from the comic. They could have made him Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
They could have just made him another Green Goblin. Sometimes Harry is Green Goblin. They didn't do that. They were like, here's a new Goblin. He's got a snowboard and a ski mask. He's freaking cool.
This was like peak Tony
Games.
Hawk era, you know, like he had a bunch
Shaun
of those,
White, that kind of thing.
He had a bunch of those video games come out. So I think this is what I'm assuming. Maybe they were kind of seeing that and then they were like, yeah, let's put a little bit of that,
Yeah.
into his character, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's not true, but
You can feel, getting back to Venom, you can feel how much Sam Raimi doesn't want him in this movie, because the Venom character itself is only in it for like 10 minutes. And he completely just evaporates him at the end. Every other villain in this series, so like they drown, but the arms could probably swim. Green Goblin gets hit in the crotch, but he could probably come back. He's got the Venom, I mean the Goblin's, serum. But no, he was like, I'm evaporating Venom. He's not coming back if I keep making these movies. And Venom in this is not very good. We'll talk about that. It's a bad representation of Venom, I think.
Maybe that's why I guess maybe that's why they eventually do this other Venom movie with Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam Raimi was deeply unhappy with how this movie turned out. Of course, he was kind of forced to make a movie he didn't want to make.
He didn't want to make this period.
He wanted a different story entirely.
Yeah.
He hoped that the fourth film he could get back in control and right all the wrongs, but the studio decides to reboot with Andrew Garfield after this one. We'll talk about that too a little later.
And I'm tired of the reboots. I'm tired of them. Like, we need like that. I feel like that was why, just to talk about reboots, I feel like that was why Barbie and Oppenheimer were so successful during the summer.
Yeah.
Last summer, just because it was completely like, we knew about it, obviously. Like, Oppenheimer was totally new, I guess, but Barbie has like everyone knows about Barbie, and it's very nostalgic for tons of people.
There's never been a true live action movie
for Barbie,
or even a theatrical movie.
So I think like it was something that we all recognized, but it was a new concept, a new like IP, I guess, technically.
Yeah, kind of like these movies, the first one, where everybody knew Spider-Man, but there wasn't a Spider-Man movie. And then when it came out, it blew up, kind of like Barbie. Everybody knows Barbie, but there wasn't a Barbie movie.
Right. Yeah. So that's why it did so well.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the reboots. Tired of them. We got to come up with something new. Not me, but somebody does.
Well, now it's all multiverse. Bring back all the
tired
old
of
stuff.
It. And you know what? Tired of it. Tired of it. Like, if you were ever a Marvel fan, like, it was supposed to be done with Endgame. What are we doing now? That's a whole other can of worms. But just to like think about that for a second in terms of reboots and like multiverse and like continuing.
Well,
it's just like, you can tell it's all just money grabs now.
Well, they're probably about to reboot the MCU.
Like, so. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. What do we have to I can't. I'm gonna blow a gasket. Oh my god. Anyway, get back to Spider-Man. But yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the actors. Sandman, played by Thomas Hayden Church. He's the best part of this movie. He is the best actor probably in it, besides J.K. Simmons, obviously.
Who did you say that?
Thomas Hayden Church, Sandman.
Oh, his face irritates me. He just has I don't know. He has one of those faces.
You're very judgmental of people's looks. That's what this is.
You know what? I guess maybe he did it on purpose. You know what I mean?
He looked like that on purpose.
Yeah, he always like kind of had his.
Oh, always a little pouty, kind of like. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
He looks kind of like how Americans look in Japanese arcade games, where their heads are really like, square and like stretched,
an upside down mouth. Like. That's what I mean. I'm not trying to call the actor ugly. I'm sure he's fine, but
I think he's great. I like him a lot.
The way he looks in this movie is interesting.
I think he's a great Flint Marko. I like that they give him the comic accurate shirt with the green stripes and everything. It's pretty cool. The CGI they used for this took years. I think it was 3 years to develop it so that they could make it where the sand forms into a person. There had been stuff kind of like that with the Mummy, but they had to like build this entire computer to be able to do that.
It's crazy to think about that now, because we just like we see it all the time, and it's just like second, or just like, oh yeah, like we've seen that before.
Yeah.
But back then, I guess it would have been like very new.
Oh yeah. And by today's standards, it doesn't look very realistic. But
back then, I'm sure it was like, wow.
There's way worse things that still come out today.
And there are way worse things, today. And there are way worse things in this movie that they have put in for the CGI. And then talking about that too, I'm pretty sure this movie was 3D.
I think so.
Because this was during the era of all the 3D-ness.
You pointed that out. There's a lot of 3D gimmicks, it seems like.
Because there's a lot of things, like how it's shot, that it's like, oh, I'm sure they probably put this in 3D because that looks like something that would like kind of shoot out at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of movies during that time were 3D, and you had to put on I bet that was during the time of the red and blue rims. You know what I mean?
Maybe. It'd have been probably toward the end of it.
And
you know,
at the beginning of like the black
of the
ones.
yeah. I hate 3D movies.
It is like a little painful to watch. Like makes my eyes water a little bit.
Yeah. So as good as Thomas Hayden Church is, on the other hand, Topher Grace, no hate to him, but he was
I'm hating him.
horribly miscast.
I'm
He is
hating
not. That's fine. You can. He is not. They should not have cast him as Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock is traditionally, and you don't have to do it this way, but you do have to write a good character, and they didn't. But traditionally, he is this big hulking guy that looks like he could beat up a normal Peter Parker, a not Spider-Man Peter Parker, right?
Yeah.
And so when the Venom symbiote attaches to him, it enhances what you already have, and because he's already super strong and big, it makes him huge, like 18 foot tall.
Right.
Whereas this one is just kind of a scrawny Topher Grace that's the same size as Spider-Man. And
Which makes me wonder why they did that.
Yeah.
Is Topher Grace even that good?
He's a good actor. I like him.
I don't know.
He was
miscast.
About him. He should not have been Eddie Brock. He would have been better as, a Harry Osborn or something, but not a.
No, unfortunately, James Frank. You know what? We already talked about this. James Frank was problematic. I agree. But at this time, was he probably? Yeah, he probably was.
Oh, yeah. He's been problematic since he got into Hollywood. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's hotter, though, than all three of them. That's the problem. But the other thing about it is something about Topher Grace. I don't know. Doesn't sit right with me. I don't know.
Notoriously nice man, Topher Grace. You're right.
Is he really nice?
He seems to be one of the nicer people in Hollywood.
He just got the ass haircut, too. I can't. It's terrible.
Well, that was the time, wasn't it?
Well, who dyed it? It's orange.
Well, we got a lot of bad haircuts in this because
Tobey Maguire's is the most offensive.
Tobey Maguire's is bad. He is very black, but he also has Bryce Dallas Howard as Gwen Stacy with blonde hair.
She's obviously not blonde.
Yeah, she's redheaded, and then Mary Jane is the actress actually blonde, and she had to dye her hair red.
I don't know why they did that. That's weird.
I
don't know. Anyway, just to comment on him, yeah, but I guess my point is, like, if he was supposed to, like, his body type was supposed to be completely different. Like, was he really that good?
Well, yeah, and he and credit to him, he put on 25 pounds of muscle for this role, but he's so small you can't really tell. Yeah.
Yeah, because you said he quit that 70s show to do this.
Right.
For what?
For probably a big paycheck.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I would do it too for a check. But additionally, I mean,
also, like,
it ended, and then this ended, and it wasn't like mixed reviews. I guess it was mixed reviews.
But like,
and then for what? You didn't do much else.
There were 2 movies back to back that nearly made $1 billion, and you get a call saying, "We want you to be Venom." Yeah, you're going to do that.
Yeah, I guess so. But
yeah.
I don't know. And then it didn't pay off very well.
No, yeah, but I blame a lot of that on the story and the CGI. Because even if you wanted to use him, you still could have made Venom big. It doesn't have to be muscular to make Venom big, and they just didn't.
I just don't if the body type was supposed to be completely different, why even go for him? That's my thing. Was he really the best actor we got?
No, he wasn't.
Let's put Tim Allen in it. I'm just kidding. He was in everything else.
You know who should have been it? The guy who plays Flash Thompson, Joe Manganiello. That guy's huge.
Yeah.
It'd have been great.
And
sometimes Flash Thompson is Venom, so they could just gave it to him. He's already in the universe.
Characters, exactly. Yeah. Hey, that guy from high school, he's Venom now.
Yeah. Sometimes he is in the comics. You can just make him Venom. It's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm mad.
They should have let J.K. Simmons play every role in this movie.
Yeah. Even Spider-Man and Mary Jane.
Yeah. Give me pictures of Spider-Man. Okay, I'll get you pictures of Spider-Man. Mary Jane, kiss me. Okay, Spider-Man, I will kiss you.
Yep, that would be the whole, and it would have been good. 100%.
Yeah, just the same voice.
Rotten Tomatoes, 100% on there.
And doing the upside down kiss, it's like,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Big Spider didn't let us have a good Spider-Man 3 movie. That's what it is.
Yep. And
big Marvel /
Andrew Garfield,
Sony.
He didn't get him a third one. He only got 2.
Andrew, yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that.
Tom Holland, third one, very good.
Yeah. Tobey Maguire, I can't get over him. He's so, like, I can't stand him. This whole movie, can't stand him. I know he's supposed to be insufferable. I know that, and I'm understanding that in my mind, but I just can't stand him.
Okay, for people, I like this movie. I know we're being really down on it. We're gonna get to the good stuff. I like this movie a lot. You very much do not.
And I'm sorry to the people that like it. I'm just very vocal about it because it just pissed me off so bad.
Look, I agree. This is the worst depiction of Spider-Man in this movie in particular. He's insufferable. It sounds weird, but he's insufferable when he's happy. I don't like when he's singing along to Mary Jane's songs in the play, and I don't like when he's skipping around being like, oh, everybody loves me. I'm Spider-Man, and everybody loves Spider-Man. He's insufferable, and he's supposed to be. He's written that way because Mary Jane despises him at some point in this movie because of that.
And I know that in my brain, and I can like logically think about that, but something about his face, I just.
He said this was his favorite of the movies to act in because he got to do some different stuff, and he did. They did a whole emo scene. It's horrible. It's
like
the worst,
probably the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's one of the worst things in any superhero movie.
I would have to agree.
Yeah,
it was like just, and not even just because it was like bad morally. That's not even it. It's just like what are we doing? What's happening here? And also he's cringy. Annoying. Yeah, and cringy. Exactly. Yeah. I was just. And I am being dramatic.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say black.
You just have to look at our faces.
Yeah,
look at our faces.
That's fine.
Anyway, I'm being dramatic, but also I feel very strongly about this because we watched 3 of these now, and every single one of them, he's been annoying, and he's his peak annoyance in this one.
Yeah,
peak annoyance.
Well, he also, commits domestic violence on his girlfriend in this movie, which was.
And I guess technically, I don't know. We can talk about it. Technically, it wasn't on purpose, but still, and then. Like,
it's hard to say. I don't know if it was on purpose. We'll talk about it. We'll get there. Let's go through the cast. So Kirsten Dunst back as MJ. She's not happy about this role.
I'd be there with her.
This was the one where she was not supposed to get kidnapped. Finally, she was going to have a heroic scene. What was going to happen is that Gwen Stacy gets captured, and her and James Franco's character Harry Osborn team up and go save her.
Yeah.
Because the runtime blew out, they had to cut all that. So they were like, look, the director basically said, look, I'm sorry. This is the way the movie's going. I know it's not fair. And so they didn't even make her do like scream. They just reused her screams from other movies, which is fine. You don't notice because everybody's screaming all the time.
I'd be so annoyed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That would make me not want to do a 4th movie if they ever did a 4th movie,
Yeah.
That would really get me.
James Franco, his character's just as annoying as he ever is, and New Goblin is just a horrible, dumb concept.
Like, yeah, and everyone needs therapy. Like, why is he so absolutely obsessed? Like, what's he gonna do with Spider-Man? He's gonna kill him, and then he's gonna go to jail. I don't know. Like that whole obsession of like I have to kill him, and then like the logic of it makes no sense. That's what bothered me too. It's like if Spider-Man actually did kill your dad, why would he lay him in your house?
Right.
So that
you bury him. Or he
would hide it.
Yeah.
And like you would never know. Like you would never see him
drop
again.
Him in the ocean. It's New York. The ocean's right there.
Exactly. So the logic of that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even try to. He just saw Spider-Man with his dead dad. He said, "Oh, he killed him, and now I have to kill him." That bothered me a lot. I'm like, that doesn't even make logical sense. And then he finds out. He found out in the last movie. Yeah, found out in the last movie that it was Peter Parker, and then he's like, "Oh, we can't be friends anymore." And then like. Yeah, everyone's annoying. Anyway,
the soundtrack. Danny Elfman, who composed the soundtrack for the other 2 movies, he had a falling out with Sam Raimi after Spider-Man 2, and so this movie is done by Christopher Young. I think he also does a great job. Can't really tell the difference. It all sounds good.
I would agree.
Yeah. Sam Raimi and Danny Elfman end up making up eventually to some extent because they work on other projects together after this, but for whatever reason, they had a fallout in between these movies. So. Interesting stuff. Let's talk about the plot, though. You have a lot to say, so we'll go through it.
I think I've already said it all now. I think
I don't know. I think when I jog your memory of some of these things, you'll have some thoughts.
Well, if you can't tell, I'm stopped taking not Percocets. I wasn't taking Percocets. I finally finished taking my pain meds for my surgery, so now I'm a lot more awake and I got a lot more.
Last time your energy was down here. Now it's up here. Anger.
Well, I couldn't even tell you what I said in the last one. I'm so sorry. I couldn't tell you one word I said. I was half asleep. Yeah. So sorry about it. I was just, no days off. You know what I mean?
That's right. Let's get through this. Peter Parker plans to propose to Mary Jane Watson, who has made her Broadway musical debut in Central Park.
That was supposed to be Broadway? Ugh.
Yeah. Like a small Broadway,
You couldn't tell. Anyway.
In Central Park, a meteorite lands near the 2. And an extraterrestrial symbiote follows Peter to his apartment by attaching to his motorbike. Harry Osborn, knowing Peter is Spider-Man, seeks to avenge his father Norman's death using Using Norman's performance-enhancing gas and Green Goblin technology, he battles Peter to an eventual stalemate, developing partial amnesia. So a lot to cover here. Venom just falls from the sky. They don't really explain it. They're just like, yeah, whatever.
It's so lazy. I hate it. I hate it. It's so lazy. I don't like that. Like, what do you mean? Where did it come from? No one has any questions.
Yeah.
Why are we giving it to this random professor at your college?
Why'd it land 2 feet from Peter Parker? I guess it could have sensed him and followed him, like, because he's powerful, I guess.
But, like, I just don't like lazy writing. That's just what it comes down to. And that was lazy.
Also lazy. Harry Osborn getting amnesia, just
like, don't piss me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but the fight scene going up to that is pretty good. I like that he's like trying to catch the ring and he's shooting his web at it and it's just barely missing it.
That's what makes me think it was in 3D too. That scene of him trying to catch it.
That scene is very 3D.
Yeah, but yeah, like that's what makes me mad too. Again, it's just like, what, you're gonna kill Peter Parker? Like, you don't think Mary Jane's gonna like turn you into the police? You're gonna go to jail? Like, what is the? If you really think he did it, like, I don't know. It's making me mad if I think about it for too long. But anyway, yeah.
Meanwhile, police pursue escaped convict Flint Marco, who visits his wife and sick daughter before fleeing, falling into an experimental particle accelerator that fuses his body with the surrounding sand. He gains the ability to control and reform his body with sand, becoming Sandman. I like Sandman a lot.
Yeah, and you know what? Sure, that he now can just be sand.
Yeah, well, that's comic accurate,
I mean, there's that is it's just like this little circular thing. It just spins real fast.
That's how they all get their powers. The Hulk is the same thing. He just stands in a thing and becomes the Hulk. It doesn't matter. And what's more interesting is what you do with the characters after that. You have the silly little thing. What do you do with them after that? And I think they do a great job with his character in this.
I think I would agree. I guess he at least has like a reason to be pissed off and evil.
Yeah. During a festival honoring Spider-Man for saving Gwen Stacy's life, which is Peter Parker's classmate, Peter kisses her to please the crowd, angering Mary Jane. That was weird. He does the upside down kiss with her, just for show. You're right in front of your girlfriend that you're planning to propose to.
I don't know why he thought that was even a good idea, and the fact that he thought that Mary Jane would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, just not. There's not a lot going on upstairs.
No.
Like, that really made me mad. And he's like confused, like, what do you mean?
What did I do?
And then, like, she's trying to talk to him about like her issues. And like, she is obviously like bothered about some things that's going on in her personal life. And he has to make it about himself. He's like, oh yeah, like when I'm Spider-Man, like, I don't give a about that. I'm talking to you about some other that has nothing to do with that. Why are you bringing that up? Like, don't. And then, like, I think she even says, like, stop making this about you. Yeah, I agree. Justice for Mary Jane. Like, I could have. And then she like storms out because he was gonna propose to her in like a restaurant or whatever. And also, it's not even important. How you gonna put the ring at the bottom of the juice or the wine?
The juice.
I almost said the juice. They're just drinking sparkling juice. Why would you put, like, I just think you already see it, and you're drinking it, and you're like, ooh.
Well, he was raised by grandparents. People that are raised by grandparents are kind of weird. No offense to anyone watching this.
Full offense. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, like, listen, it's just true. It just is. I'm sorry if you were raised by grandparents. There are people that wear brooches and you're like 25. It's like those vibes, It's just a product of your environment.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And whatever. It's it's one of those things. But yeah, I don't know. That was a weird choice. I don't know. All of that was strange, and he just obviously doesn't know how to be a partner. Period.
Yeah. So Marco then robs an armored truck and escapes after defeating Spider-Man. That's a great fight scene, by the way. NYPD Captain George Stacy, Gwen's father, informs Peter and his Aunt May that Marco is Uncle Ben's true killer. The deceased, Dennis Carradine, I think is how he says his name, was Marco's accomplice. At the apartment, the symbiote assimilates the Spider-Man suit as Peter sleeps in it while waiting for Marco to come out of hiding. Peter awakens on top of a building, discovering that the symbiote has colored his suit black and enhanced his powers. However, it also brings out the aggressive traits of his personality. The black suit looks great. It's a great look.
It does look great, but additionally, they didn't have to make this dude like a part of Uncle Ben's like kill situation.
I do not like this retcon at all. I think Sandman's a great character. He doesn't need that. He's
Why
good
did
on his
we have
own.
to do that?
He already has a great motivation. His kid's dying. He needs money.
Yeah.
It's believable. It's relatable. Anybody would do the same thing.
He could have had any other reason to be in jail. If they were looking for a reason for him to be in jail, like literally could have done anything.
Could have just been
else.
that he got caught robbing somewhere to pay for his kids' bills. Like that's
Why did it have to be?
and that's what happened. And then they added in the
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, lazy. It's just lazy.
It's also overcomplicated because you have to rewrite
Exactly.
that entire scene. But also, like, the whole point of that first movie is that he learns that he can't hold on to this anger,
Right.
and he has to move on and let go and
Yeah.
forgive.
Yeah.
And then it's like, actually, I didn't forgive and I didn't let
He
go. I'm
learns
still
nothing.
angry.
Like he
Yeah,
just didn't
it's
learn a
like-
single thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, there was just no reason for him to be related to Spider-Man in that way.
Yeah. So Peter locates and battles Marco in a subway tunnel, discovering that that water is his weakness. He opens a pipe, releasing water that reduces Marco to mud and washes him away in the sewer. This is a great fight scene. That part where Spider-Man punches through the Sandman. They actually used an amputee in the Spider-Man costume to like punch right up to him, so they could like just CGI the hand on the other side. Which is pretty cool.
It's interesting.
No, it's cool. Get that guy some work. I think it's good. And it makes it more believable, makes it look realistic, so you can actually like punch up to him. It's pretty cool. Peter's changed demeanor alienates Mary Jane, who also receives a negative reviews from her critics. She shares a tender moment with Harry, but leaves in regret. She kisses him.
Yeah, because like I don't know, that made me mad. Like she gets in a fight with him, and she's like, "Harry, like they fully used to date.
Yeah.
Can I come over?
I need some company." It's like 2 p.m.
And then she stays until the nighttime.
Yeah, they cook together, which is romantic. You can't cook with somebody unless it's your job and it not be romantic. You just can't.
I just couldn't understand her motivation with that. Like what other and then they do fully kiss, and then she's like, "I'm sorry. You both wanted to do that. What are we doing here? What's happening?"
You knew what you were doing going on there. Urged by a hallucination of his father, Harry recovers from his amnesia and forces Mary Jane to break up with Peter, which that's a stupid scene because they're on the bridge. Maybe I don't like this one either. Think about it, but no, I do. I just don't love it.
I think the thing about it is like the individual thing. I'm sure all together, and then like what it looks like that's okay, and like what it means to you, like now. What I mean, but like the individual plot points, like it doesn't make sense. Story's too convoluted. There's too many moving parts, and that's probably why a lot of it's like, why did we do that?
Yeah. So the scene we're talking about though is Mary Jane makes Peter meet her on a bridge. Harry is on the whole of the side of the park, and she has to break up with him. The thing is, Harry doesn't have super hearing. He's far away. She could have just said, "Hey, act like you're crying or upset. He wants me to break up with you. He's the Green Goblin now. You need to go kill him like you did his dad. You could probably kill him pretty easily." And he probably could. And that's all she had to say. But no, she like went through it. It's like, "No, we have to end it. I'm sick of you." It's like,
which also
he can't hear you.
I wonder if she was actually sick of him at this point. Maybe that's why she actually did it. But like, who's to say the motivations? But if she actually didn't, it seems like she didn't actually want to. So like then, like you said, why even actually break up?
Yeah,
you just be like, Harry's literally holding me hostage and making me do this.
Don't look, he's right over there.
You have to start crying.
Yeah, act like you're sad. Okay, great.
Please go kill him.
Yeah, swing over there and just punch his head off because I know you can.
Yeah, but do it at some point. Maybe not right now, but yeah. So I don't know. Of course, there had to be some reason that they break up, I guess.
Yeah, there's not enough drama in this movie, not enough going on.
I think that was definitely so the plot could move up forward.
Yeah,
and there had to be romantic drama somehow.
Yeah.
So
Harry later meets up with Peter and tells him that Mary Jane loves him, as in loves Harry. Under the symbiote's influence, Peter confronts Harry and spitefully says his father never loved him, which is true. As Peter leaves after an ensuing fight, Harry throws a pumpkin bomb at him, but Peter deflects it back, scorching Harry's face.
He didn't have to do him like that. Well, he did throw it first. I guess.
He threw it fair game. He threw it first.
Yeah.
But he's got the super soldier serum. He'd be fine. He'd get a little scar. That's it.
I couldn't believe this. Like, could you imagine? Everyone needs therapy because what do you mean? Like, yes, everyone's a superhero, supernatural, this, that, and the other, but why are we like Why are we like trying to kill each other? This is crazy. I don't know. Everyone needs therapy. That's
At
what
the
it
Daily
is.
Bugle, Peter exposes rival photographer Eddie Brock, whose fake photos incriminate Spider-Man. Publisher J. Jonah Jameson fires Brock and promotes Peter to staff photographer. Later, Peter brings Gwen to a jazz club where Mary Jane now works in an attempt to make her jealous. Upon realizing Peter's true intentions, Gwen apologizes to Mary Jane and leaves. After we'll get to this part in a second. So Mary Jane is here to be a waitress and sing
And make money
and
because
make
she
money.
got fired from being a Broadway actress because of one bad review for some reason.
Yes, so
Anyway.
she's there. She's about to start her song, and then Peter, emo Peter now, which when he becomes evil, he decides he's going to be evil by pushing his hair down like this and staring in the mirror.
But it's definitely like hairspray, just like this.
Yeah.
And it's like barely covered over one eye.
And so
overall looks bad.
He decides that he's cool now, so he starts doing a little dance, walking around, snaps. He does like a little jig, a little spin all down the street. And it's weird because some women look really into it and some look disgusting. So I don't know if the director thought this was cool or not.
It's not.
I know objectively it's not, but did he think it was? And then he gets up there when Mary Jane's about to start singing and he starts playing the piano and he's like, now dig on this. And he starts doing his little like jazz thing. It's so upsetting.
That made me want oh my God.
And like close up on his mouth, like really close. He's like, now dig on this.
Now dig on this. I was like, what are we doing?
And he does a little dance. He does this crazy dance. And then Mary Jane gets upset and he hits her in the face.
Well, the thing about it was he was on a date with Gwen Stacy. I guess.
While you're checking this, I'm going to mark that curse word. You can't cuss again until I get back because I have to mark it.
Sorry.
No, you're good to cuss when I'm here, but I got to check.
Passionate about this.
I got to check the camera because I don't know if my phone's dead. So keep going.
Yeah. So this here's the thing I don't like a lot of this, but this scene specifically really just because it didn't need to happen. This movie was too long already. Why did we do this? But anyway, on a day with Gwen Stacy, and like, he does his whole like dig on this, and then they start dancing or whatever, and he ends it and looks at Mary Jane, and Gwen Stacy realizes that, and she's like, you did this all for her. So not only did he offend Mary Jane, he also offended Gwen Stacy, who's just an innocent bystander. He didn't have to do her like that,
Yeah, this girl is literally just like, she's had a rough few months. She fell off a building 6 years after 9/11.
She almost died. Yeah.
And she just gets caught in the crossfire here.
Yeah, like it just poor Gwen Stacy, and I don't know. That whole scene, not only was it cringy and weird, but it also like he's just like, and I know it's to show that he's a terrible person, but was he even that much better to begin with? I don't know.
He gets worse. It's weird that they included any of that. That whole scene is unnecessary and
because we already know he's terrible.
And it's cringy. And like, why do you want Spider-Man hitting his girlfriend? Why do you want to include that? It's a bad look all around. Like it's a good job, everyone. Good job on this scene. Really good stuff. Like it's ridiculous.
I think there could have been a better way to do it. I don't know specifically what, but
just not do that. Just cut it out. That whole scene. That's all you got to do.
I personally don't think
I need you to stall for about 2 minutes. You want to read on?
Here, let's see.
Okay. I'll show you where I'm at. I've got to go get a phone charger.
Okay.
So right here, let's see if I can even do this here. So right here where
here we go.
Uh-oh.
All
right. Where the indention is, that's where we're at.
The indention.
Go for it, Queen. I'll be back.
What do you mean the indention? Oh, Brock is at the same church or becomes symbiote.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Let me fix myself right quick. Hold on. So here we are. It says here. Can you see me try to? I'm absolutely struggling. Hold on. I gotta put this down. Okay, girly pops. So it says, I'm just going to read this. I think this is where it is. After assaulting the bouncers and accidentally hitting Mary Jane, Peter realizes that the symbiote is corrupting him, retreating to a church's bell tower and discovering that the sounds of the clanging metal weaken the creature. Peter removes the symbiote. Brock is at the same church and becomes the symbiote's new host. I don't remember why he was there. Was he following? I think he was following him or something stupid like that.
Remember, earlier in the movie when Peter got him fired. He was like, please don't do this. I'll get fired. And Peter was like, you want forgiveness? Get religion. So the only reason they put that line in is so he'd end up in a church. Great writing.
I forgot he said that, because that doesn't even make sense. Do you want forgiveness? Get religion. What? Nobody says that. Whatever. That's anyway. Stupid, dumb, hate it. Anyway, as Venom, Brock locates a still living Marco and convinces him to join forces to kill Spider-Man. Brock abducts Mary. Oh yeah, because Marco the Sandman thought that he was Spider-Man, because I don't know why he moves like him. That doesn't really make sense, but
oh yeah, well they were in a dark alley, and you just see Spider-Man was already wearing the black suit, so you just see a black shadow.
Yeah,
and he does. Hey, it's Venom. He does it's not like there's no bass to the voice. It's just Topher Grace's voice, but he's like got a little raspiness to it. It's horrible.
Yeah, but he has like, I don't know. It's weird. That was an interesting choice for them to do that. But anyway, as Venom, Brock locates a still living. Okay, said that. Brock abducts Mary Jane and holds her captive from a web at a construction site, intending to kill her in revenge for Peter ruining him, while Marco keeps the police at bay. After Harry declines to help Peter, Harry's butler reveals that Norman's death was not Spider-Man's fault. While Brock and Marco pin Peter down, Harry arrives to help Peter and save Mary Jane. Yeah, so to go back on that a little bit, I really hate that Mary Jane we already talked about that. Mary Jane did not want to be abducted again, and they did that anyway, so I really hate that hate that.
What's even crazier is they have this butler in here that is 150 years old, and they still make him work. James Franco's like, we need food. Go get it.
For when Mary Jane comes over, it's like, hey, maybe you get it for the butler.
That man should have retired 20 years ago.
He needs a walker.
Why don't you just let him live in the guest house? You're the richest people in New York.
Yeah.
Let him live in the guest house and just hire somebody else. I'll take this back, by the way. You did a great job. Thank you. Don't let the pink part unplug.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Okay.
Lovely. Thank you for taking over for me there.
Oh, God.
We're about to lose our camera.
Oh, no, good.
We're good now. So, yeah, this, I mean...
I hate that he has him working. That's really crazy, because that man needed a walker, and and apparently the actor couldn't remember half his lines, so why'd they make him do that? And also, so he's just going to believe it now the butler says it, but his best friend that he's supposed to be trusting, like, he's not going to believe his word, like, I guess he needed some other outside source to tell him that. I don't know. Yeah. Like, they need that to happen for the plot to happen, so that Spider-Man can be helped to take down these two supernatural beings.
Also,
so Green Goblin, New Goblin, whatever would help him,
Yeah. Also, why did the butler not tell him earlier?
So you're gonna tell him now?
Yeah.
You know that he's beefing with him. You're not going to tell him sooner?
It's all he talks about. I gotta kill Spider-Man.
That's the only thing he talks. Yeah, only thing he thinks about. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I was for the plot, but come on.
So while Brock and Marco pin Peter down, Harry arrives to help Peter and save Mary Jane. Brock attempts to impale Peter with Harry's glider, but Harry jumps in and is impaled instead, sacrificing himself, dying the same way his dad did, but on the good side.
And I was like, did he really just die? I was like, that really just happened.
And they dodged a bullet by doing that, because if they would have kept making these, they would have had to just kill him off in the next one after he got exposed for being a creep. So,
well, why would he have made it to the next one? He definitely died.
I know. What I'm saying is they made the right choice killing him.
Oh, yeah.
While remembering the symbiote's weakness, Peter assembles a parameter of metal pipes to create a sonic attack, weakening it, and allowing Peter to separate Brock from the symbiote. Peter activates a pumpkin bomb and throws it at the hostless symbiote. Having become addicted to its influence, Brock attempts to save the symbiote, and both are vaporized completely.
I don't miss them. Don't miss either of them.
Marco explains that Ben's death was an accident that has haunted him, and that everything he has done was to help his daughter. Peter forgives Marco, allowing him to escape. Peter and Harry reconcile before Harry dies from his injuries. Sometime after Harry's funeral, Peter visits Mary Jane at the jazz club, where they embrace and share a dance.
I don't care. Like, leave that woman alone.
Please leave that woman alone.
She needs to go back to Astronaut Man.
You've done nothing but cause harm.
Her life is terrible because of you.
Both mental, emotional, physical. You're
And
a
Mary
bad
Jane,
person.
stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah.
That man is not that good. He may be Spider-Man, but he's not that good. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just stand up. But anyway, overall, I have completely on this movie, unfortunately.
You have. You have.
I know people love this movie series and, you know, whatever, you can have your opinion. I can have mine, you know. But I don't know. I think if it wasn't attached to Spider-Man, I think people would be like, this is kind of not a great movie, you know.
Yeah.
I think there was definitely too many outside forces
Definitely too much
affecting
interference.
it, and I think that you can definitely tell.
How about some IMDb trivia?
Sure.
On May 4th, 2007, while promoting the film on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Thomas Hayden Church revealed that he broke 3 knuckles during the subway scene where he swings to punch Spider-Man, ends up punching a chunk of the wall away. Church said that the effects crew had told him that the brick in the middle was fake, while the upper and lower ones were real. Unfortunately, the foam brick had not actually been put in place yet. When Sam Raimi yelled action, Church spun around and punched the real brick on the first take and broke his hand.
I know that hurt. Yeah. Also, forgot that Jay Leno used to be on the Tonight Show.
Yep.
I know he was on it for years and years and years.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot that was him. Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard performed her own stunts during the crane accident scene, unaware that she was pregnant at the time of filming.
Who?
Bryce Dallas Howard, Gwen Stacy.
Oh, you know, bad with names.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, even looking at that, like, made me stressed because, like, could you even imagine, like,
Oh yeah, hanging from the crane.
God, so many people would be dead if Spider-Man wasn't a person that existed.
Yeah,
So
crime went
many
up 75% when he quit for that month.
NYPD needs help. What is going on?
In a fight scene where Spider-Man punches through Sandman's chest, congenital amputee boxer Baxter Humby took Tobey Maguire's place in filming the scene. Humby, who was born without his right hand, helped deliver the intended effect of punching through Sandman's chest. We talked about that earlier. Pretty cool, though.
That is crazy to not be born with a right hand.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Reportedly, an early draft had John Jameson, the astronaut from Spider-Man 2, returning from a space mission with the symbiote as a stowaway, which is...
That would have been way better.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
That would have made sense.
Yeah.
And we would have gotten Astronaut Man back so Mary Jane could be with him.
Yep.
They wouldn't have done that, but...
No. To save time and money, this was eliminated in favor of having the meteorite just happen to land next to Peter Parker. The Jameson space mission story was reused for Venom 2016, but instead Riot was the symbiote. Also, you don't have to actually show it coming back. You can just have him in a lab and be like, yeah, we found this thing in space. All you gotta say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Elisha Cuthbert and Scarlett Johansson were considered for the role of Gwen Stacy.
I could have seen... Who was the other one?
Elisha Cuthbert. I don't know. I don't recognize that name.
Now listen, I am notoriously bad with names. I have to look up everyone's face.
I'll keep going. Originally, Dan Baker's Kurt Connors was meant to mutate into the Lizard and become the main villain of this film. There is a lizard skeleton in Dr. Connors' laboratory that foreshadows the metamorphosis. Another hint is the fact that his right arm is missing. In the comics, he tried to restore it using reptile DNA, which led to his transformation. The Lizard story was filmed with recent fans, Rice, I can't remember how I'd ever say his name. I think it's Rice Evans, in place of Baker for the reboot movie, The Amazing Spider-Man 2012. There were discussions about Kurt Connors mutating to the Lizard for a potential 4th film.
We're all better for it that it didn't happen. Thank God.
The Amazing Spider-Man one was bad, though, so it still happened. Just
I'm sure it probably is bad,
movie.
But I still just like Andrew Garfield.
That's fair. Did you find this person?
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but Scarlett Johansson would have been great for Gwen Stacy. But then also, I only see her. I mean, we wouldn't have known a difference anyway if she had done it anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I only know her in my mind as Black Widow. So yeah.
Originally, the Butler was to be another illusion of Harry's, representing his good side. Even though this idea would have cleared up a massive plot hole, the Butler waiting to explain that Harry's father's ruins were not an accident,
we said. Yeah,
but it was cut anyway.
I've had enough. Oh my God, you know. All I can say is SMH. I don't know.
And in the movie, Venom is never referred to as Venom. Sandman is only called Sandman once during a newscast sequence near the film's climax. New Goblin is never called New Goblin. The closest this comes to happening is Peter calling him Little Goblin Jr.
I don't really know why.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't know what they were called. I didn't know that it was New Goblin, honestly.
Yeah.
until you
We
said
only know
that.
because of the toys and stuff.
That's so weird.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Star Wars thing. They never say Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. They don't call them anything. We just found that out through toys.
That's interesting.
No. The planned sequel. Originally, Sony planned to make Spider-Man 4 that would release in 2011. The story had a few possible versions, including having the Lizard as the villain, the Vulture, and Bruce Campbell appearing as Mysterio, which would have meant that all his previous scenes may have been the same character watching Peter Parker all along. Anne Hathaway was going to play Black Cat. That would have been pretty
Well,
good.
I think she. Oh wait, no. That's technically. I think she's technically Batwoman.
Catwoman.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it's the same character though.
No.
Yeah.
Very
So she
similar.
technically does it. At
Yeah,
some
sort
point.
of. She's still a cat-based anti-hero.
Yeah. But yeah. That would have worked. But she does it eventually at least. So, and it's in a better movie.
So how this movie fell apart, though, is Raimi, the director, claims that he met with the studio, and every time they met, they kept asking him, like, "You sure you don't want to do something else? You sure you want to do this?" And he kind of was eventually like, "Look, do y'all want me to do this?" And they were like, "Yeah, of course we do." But he later found out that they were wanting to reboot it anyway. So he's like, "Fine, just do it. I don't care." And they did, and they rebooted it, and it was bad, and they had to reboot it again like 3 years after that.
I get so annoyed with reboots.
Yeah.
I do. It's like, it wasn't good, but why are we doing it again?
Yeah.
I guess because I think the pitch for the Andrew Garfield one was that it was supposed to be like exactly like the comics.
It's the first Spider-Man movie again.
But that's what I mean, though, is like, because like technically those ones weren't like completely accurate to the comics, and so like I think that's what it was.
The only difference is the web shooters. They give him web shooters, and he fights the Lizard instead of Green Goblin. Everything else about the movie is the exact same. He does the photograph and gets bit while he's doing the photograph. He's like being weird about Gwen Stacy the way Tobey Maguire is weird about MJ.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the other difference is that they start with Gwen Stacy, and like that's the love interest instead of Mary Jane.
And that's more, that's
because that was how the because I think that's what I mean.
Okay,
it's like they tried like to make the story more accurate to the comics.
Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty comic booky world. A lot of the things stuck pretty close to it outside of like Venom, but like Sandman's very accurate. Doc Ock's pretty accurate. Green Goblin, so
I think you know what, I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what they were going with, and that's why they were giving, or that was at least their reason why they were rebooting it.
I think
could not be true. But
I think they just were ready to reboot. I think the mixed response on this were like, let's just redo it.
But why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you even redoing it? We don't want to do anyone else.
Yeah.
We don't want to do a Superman. I guess that was DC.
Rights.
But
yeah, they don't have the rights to that. But
I don't know. We could also just not. You know what I mean? We could just not.
Spider-Man makes money. We're gonna do it.
I've had enough. No more reboots. None.
That wraps up our Spider-Man trilogy, though. The Raimi. What do you rate this trilogy as a whole? I'm
gonna go ahead and give it 1. I'm just kidding.
How many crying Tobey Maguire faces do you give it out of 10?
That I never. So before watching these, I'd never understood why people like would always use his face as a meme, but it's a pretty bad crying face.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe that's supposed to be his real crying face. That's probably why it's so bad. But
maybe.
I hated it. I'd probably give it about 3 crying faces out of 10.
Wow, that's crazy. I still really like these movies.
At the most, 4.5, 5.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean,
I can't wait for you to watch the Andrew Garfield ones again. I can't wait for that. But I need a break. I need a break from Spider-Man after these 3.
Yeah, I agree.
So next,
I don't know.
week,
what would you rate it? This one?
I like this one in particular. Not very. I'd give like a 6 out of 10.
What would you rate the other ones?
If I like rated the whole trilogy as a whole, like 7.5 probably.
Yeah, I think I would have to give it like a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
Because I mean, I didn't particularly love the first one. The second one was better.
Yeah.
And this one, hot fire garbage, in my opinion. I don't know.
Well,
that's how I feel. That's
next week we're getting away from superheroes and we're doing some Valentine's stuff the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's your pick next week.
I watched this video on someone who talked about Confessions of a Shopaholic from like 2000, I think it might have been 2009. And I was like, wow, rom-coms, that was really their heyday back then, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So I'm thinking about, because you want to do How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah, but if you want to do that one, I can do Valentine's Day.
I think we should do that one, but I think we should either do Princess Diaries is another one I thought about.
Okay.
That one is iconic, and that or we could do Devil Wears Prada. Isn't really like a rom com.
No, yeah,
It's a good one.
We can do it eventually, but it's not really a rom com.
27 Dresses, another one. What was the one I'm
50
thinking of?
First Dates.
That one, I'd never watched that one, honestly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's the one with Lindsay Lohan, Confessions of a Drama Queen.
Okay.
That one, we could do that one too.
Well, which one are we doing next week?
I don't know. It's gonna be any of those.
You gotta let them know. We gotta let them know.
It's too much pressure. I don't know.
You're the one bringing them all up.
I don't know. I think Princess Diaries is a rom com, is it not?
I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah,
now I'm doubting myself.
She meets. Yeah, it is.
It's Confessions of It's. Maybe it needs to be specifically. Maybe we could also do He's Just Not That Into You. You know that one?
Yeah.
We could do that one.
Okay, so which one are we doing next week?
All these ideas, I can't think of any of them. We could do He's Just Not That Into You because I'm thinking about specifically rom coms.
Okay, He's
not necessarily like a 2000s like people call them chick flicks. It's peak cinema.
Okay,
that's what it is.
Okay, great.
And just because women watch it majority doesn't mean that it's less than
like Spider-Man with boys. Okay. Well, all right. Next week, whatever you said, that's what we'll watch.
Okay.
How to Lose a Man.
No, not that one. That's yours.
Man. She's. What are we watching?
It's called He's Just Not That Into You.
He's Just Not That Into You. I've seen it before. We'll watch that next week. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching, sticking with us.
Thanks for listening to my complaining.
Through this. Yeah, this was a doozy.
Listen,
episode.
And here's my thing. Here's my little take about all this. I am not, obviously, I've said this before. I am more used to giving the details immediately and quickly and getting them all out at the jump. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not used to going detail by detail and explaining everything. So I'm used to that. So I'm sorry if it's always out of order like that. Okay. I have to get out my thoughts immediately or I'll forget them.
All right, here's the theme song for the last time. So good. Thank you, everyone, for listening, watching. If you watch us on YouTube, thank you. Subscribe, like, comment. If you like us on your podcast app, subscribe there. Share us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Nuanced Nostalgia Pod. What else is there? You can follow me everywhere at Nick-North06. Follow Caitlin everywhere at Caitlin Shorts. We got 2 more episodes before we go on a break. We're going to Australia. So
very nice, very fun.
2 Valentine episodes, then we'll take a break the week of Valentine's and the week after. So looking forward to that. We're going to go to the Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah. So in Australia.
See, we could have, if we did Valentine's Day, she's in that. We could have raked in
for like 2 seconds.
Could have raked in that Taylor Swift searches on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Put her in the thing. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Oh, you didn't mention my shirt once this whole episode. Anyway, goodbye, everyone.
I mentioned it before.
No, too late. Goodbye, everyone. Too late. Goodbye, everyone.
Click like for the shirt.
Yeah, thank you. Please. Goodbye.